Welcome back. Love Boat Project, episode 49. Now with an even stronger horn.
One of the loudest horns I've ever heard.
It really was. I am Mike Robertson, joined as always by Mike Taylor. Mike, what is the most kids you should ever take with you on a cruise? And is it more than 0?
No, Mike. It is not more than 0. It is exactly 0. Especially on a second honeymoon, 0.0.
There are a lot of things that since I have become a parent, make sense and everything. But seeing that's exactly what I think traveling with kids is. And I assume when I start traveling with my child, it'll be exactly this. So,
well, to me, is having two, it's not like, it'd be a pain to take a flight, but a cruise, aha, there we go.
Yep.
Boo.
Well, speaking of honeymoons, second honeymoons, it's our second honeymoon with our returning guest. You know him from episode 22. Slip into something more comfortable from last season. He's back. Charo expert, Kevin Redding. Welcome back, Kev.
Welcome back, Kev.
Thanks for having me, gentlemen.
So, Kev, you last season got what ended up being one of the best episodes that we had in the whole run. And I believe, spoiler, you felt this one maybe was even better.
I think you guys have done me well on episode assignments. So I appreciate that.
I'm starting to think that you might be the Sonny Bono of our season. Because Sonny Bono has been in 2 very good episodes this year. You might be the Sonny Bono. So,
well, I mean, keep in mind, Charo's going to be back like another 5 times.
Oh, Charo's back.
I will fess up right away that I didn't know that this was a Charo reappearance.
It's not just a Charo reappearance. It's an April Lopez. Yeah, it's an April Lopez reappearance, and that's what I meant to say. This April Lopez character keeps going. So,
well, don't you listeners worry, because your wonderful host, I went back and listened to the initial Charo episode because I was like, something ain't adding up with this retconning they're doing in this episode. And we will get to that when we talk about Love Boat episode 24 or 26 if you're Mike, season 2, April's Return, Supermom, and I'll see you again. Synopsis: April Lopez returns as a lounge singer, Bud and Margaret's kids disrupt their parents' second honeymoon with constant needs, like as kids do. So,
as humans do.
Those kids.
Yeah. World War II veteran Frank and USO entertainer Eve reunite after 35 years. Pretty accurate,
sure.
I would say.
The math adds up, unfortunately.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, I've got some math questions this week. I've definitely got some math questions this week.
Can I, before we get going here, can I just suggest a 4th storyline here called Where's Isaac? Just saying. I thought he was criminally underused in this episode. Before we dive in, I just want to make note of that. It's something I really thought stuck out like a sore thumb to me.
It brings a bottle of champagne, maybe?
Yeah.
There's 5 more where that came from. Don't even worry about it. I'll be back at least 5 more times.
Oh, wait till we get to the list of people who sent that champagne, because somebody on this episode is on that list. So...
Kevin? Huh?
Original air date for this baby, Cinco de Mayo, May 5th, 1979. Oddly enough, Kev, the episode you did last season, May 6th, 1978. So you are our Cinco de Mayo man.
Is that why Charo was on? Is she on every Cinco de Mayo and or Hispanic holiday?
No, Cinco de Mayo. She was on the Cinco de Mayo one last year. That was over work. So, but here's the thing. Maybe it was coincidence. Maybe it wasn't. But if you're ever going to bring Mexican fiesta night back at the dining room, it would have been this week.
This is not the food they showed this week was not fiesta level food.
Oh, 0 margaritas.
No
I
chefs.
don't think there was a drink except for the champagne, right?
There wasn't even like a dummy, a scarecrow with a sombrero on when you walked in. They went budget.
Our last episode aired on St. Patrick's Day.
Mm-hmm.
So there were 6 weeks of reruns from the Love Boat as they were off between Patty's Day and Cinco de Mayo. Kev, this will mean nothing to you, but Mike, the list of repeats that they rolled out: episodes 1, 2, 3. If you remember, they ran the Red Buttons Leech episode on New Year's Eve.
You're talking about of this season, not
of all of them are this season.
Okay.
Episode 5, The Kissing Bandit.
Oh, okay.
Episode 12, which is Pepito, I believe.
Okay.
And episode 13, which is Julie and Jack Chenault, but also those awful twins and Fred Travellina. So they really mixed it up. Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Interesting.
But not in that order, by the way. The reruns just were all willy-nilly.
Yeah, it was. I will say episodes 5 and 12 are 2 of my favorite of the season. So the other ones are okay. Well, 1 is a monster. Like, that's a whole thing. 1 and 2.
No, 12 is Pepito, I think.
Yeah.
That's not one of your favorite episodes.
I'm sorry, not one of my favorites. I'll say this: one of my favorites to talk about.
Yes, that is fair. Yeah, Kev, there are like 7 episodes that we could have stuck you with this season that would not have been of the quality that
I think you guys know my skill.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Throw the softballs.
Well, it's funny too, because at the end of the last episode that you were on that I re-listened to, I say we are definitely going to give you a bad one next season. I guess I either forgot or I did. So what else?
I moved mountains to make this work, guys.
Exactly. Nice. Yeah, this was a very scheduled appearance. So, what else was on? Last time Kev was on, we played a little game where I had 4 items about what else was on. You two picked the numbers and we could see. This year, we've doubled it. Whoa. There are 8 items that are related
so they're all
to
sitcoms.
What else is on? Mike, I'm not going to give you any spoilers, brother.
All right.
So 1 to 8, we can go until this runs out of steam. Kev, select a number between 1 and 8 to get your what else was on Cinco de Mayo 1979 television fact.
Give me the penultimate 2.
Number 2. Let's see. Number 2, we go to CBS at 8:30. Show called Beans of Boston. This is a failed TV pilot that apparently only had 1 episode, and this was it. There's not like other episodes listed or whatever. Who's in this, Michael? John Hillerman, Charlotte Rae.
Wow.
Mickey O'Day himself, Tom Poston.
Oh, we love Tom Pope. It's an all-star cast. 1 episode. What happened?
It really is. I think the problem was that the storyline is that to keep from being fired by his uncle, Franklin Bean has a bright idea for a theme week for the men's and ladies wear department at the Beans of Boston department store.
Oh, no. We sell jeans here at Beans. Like, no.
Yeah, no.
It's too much. Okay, I now see why it's 1 episode. Some executive was like, hell no, enough.
Congratulations to Beans of Boston. You had 3 less episodes than the American Girls. So way to go.
Hey, if we were doing the Beans project, we'd already be done. We'd be done a long time ago.
Oh, maybe that'll be a summer hiatus project. We can just knock one out. So.
Just do 1 episode shows and be done with it.
That'd be great. Yeah, we've done 70 different podcasts.
Just fill up the resume.
All right, Mike, your turn to pick a number.
Number 5.
All right, number 5. Oh, this is a good one.
What can I ask? What network that first show was on again?
That was
CBS.
CBS. That was
CBS.
CBS.
Okay.
Yes. We go to ABC, and we go to 10 p.m. the show after this Love Boat that we'll be talking about, Fantasy Island.
Yeah.
Gag writer Jerry Burton, about to be fired by his famous comedian boss, wants to become a star comic of his own. Sandy Larson, an invalid, meets her prison-bound pen pal face-to-face for the first time.
On a deserted island? On an
It's
island.
a fantasy island. It's not a desert island. So,
You're going to meet...
It's not Gilligan's Island.
right.
Oh, it's just shady because when the word pen pal is involved, like it's just so
Mike?
vague. Yeah, sorry.
Kev, you can guess, but I don't know if you have as much context. There are the person who plays the gag writer and the person who plays the invalid pen pal have both been on the Love Boat this season. One male, one female. I believe the female was one of the worst acting performances we've seen all year.
It wasn't Minnie Pearl then.
No, it wasn't.
That's for sure.
You think Minnie Pearl was playing an invalid pen pal?
She would have done a great job. Somehow she would have made it work.
Did Minnie kill it?
Yeah, she was
She was
great.
great. She was great. The gag writer was none other than Burl Smith himself, Fred Grandy.
Oh, nice.
So he's double duty tonight. The invalid, that's right, Tony Tennille. So
Really?
yeah.
Oh no, she's one of the worst actresses.
She really
At
is
least
pretty
in
bad.
this show, it's the worst.
She is pretty bad.
She just lives. She doesn't act. She just
Yeah.
is. She
Yeah.
just.
All right.
Oof.
2
Okay.
and 5 are off the board. Kev,
All right.
your selection.
1. Give it to me.
Nice.
1, the show on ABC preceding the Love Boat. It's the Roy Clark special.
Ooh. Okay.
Flying down to Provo. Country Western star Roy Clark, along with guests Marie Osmond, Cheryl Tiegs, Tammy Wynette, and Flip Wilson,
Oh, I
host
love
this
Flip
variety
Wilson.
special featuring the Utah Symphony Orchestra.
I'm not gonna poo-poo that. I'll give 3 out of 5 performers decent grades. Throw the Mormon Orchestra on there. You're good.
Yeah, Flip Wilson.
Is it
Of course, he
weird
gets in
that-
there.
Is it weird that Roy Clark, like I don't associate him with the state of Utah, but maybe I'm
Like
just
that's why he was
making too
flying
much of
down to Provo. He was like walking over to Provo,
Playing
He had to
again in
go to
Provo.
yeah.
settling
Yeah.
down, putting down roots in
There's all
Provo.
those bluegrass songs about Provo. It's just, you know what I mean? My brain is flooded.
Oh, God, it all rhymes. All right, Mike.
Number 4.
Number 4. Let's go to NBC. It's a rerun,
Excellent.
but it's Chips.
Uh-oh.
This week's
rerun.
episode, The Grudge.
Which one is this one? The
We have
Trucker?
not done this one. So this
No.
might have been a season prior to us or when they were on a different night. To settle the score after being arrested for possession of pot, fraternity members anonymously donate marijuana-laced brownies to the Highway Patrol open house.
Oh, that sounds incredible. Oh, what a great watch that would be.
Oh,
Oh.
Hey. I call that episode.
I gotta see that. Yeah, when the Chips Project
Chips
starts.
Project?
Geez.
Oh, Mike-
yes.
Mike Taylor definitely wants to do Chips Project.
I want to do
There's
Chips
no
Project.
All
That's
right.
fantastic.
We have
Wow.
left
I'm gonna have
You
to buy
have
a
one.
Harley.
Same
3, 7, 8, and
6.
6. Yes. Cab, you're up.
8.
Nice.
All right. 8 at 8 p.m. on CBS, preceding Beans of Boston. It's the Bad
Ooh.
News Bears television show.
Okay, I remember this. Okay.
I remember this. I don't know if I remember it as a kid, but I
don't.
remember it was on the Classic Sports Channel on ESPN. They used to play it before school. It actually stars Corey Feldman, who we see in this Love Boat episode that we're talking about. But do you know who played Buttermaker?
It wasn't Mathau, right?
It wasn't Mathau, and it wasn't William Devane.
Was
it
it
was
the guy
not
who played
William
Oscar?
Devane.
From
Jack Klugman?
Sam. Yeah, was it Jack Klugman?
It was not Jack Klugman. Same idea, but not Jack Klugman.
I don't know then. Who?
It was Jack Warden.
You know what? That makes sense. That
Yeah.
makes more sense. Okay.
Yep.
I remember that now.
I recently saw Jack Warden as the angry newspaper editor in The Great Muppet Caper, which I did not remember. So
I didn't remember he was in it, but what a fantastic that's my favorite of the Muppet movies, by the way.
It's a good one.
The baseball
Grodin,
diamond. What a
Grodin
great...
is so good. Grodin is so good in that movie.
It's a great.
I wish we should do this at some point, Mike. We should pick like you could never get these people on the Love Boat, but I wish they were for one episode. Like Charles Grodin as a villain on this dumb show would be.
Him and Steubing, just battle of wits.
All right, we have 3 numbers left. We have, what do we got? We got 6, we got 3, and we got 7.
Let's go 6.
All right, 6. We got the one movie that we have tonight.
Excellent.
This is on CBS from 9 to 11. Take a Hard Ride. A reformed outlaw who is trying to return some stolen money to the widow of a rancher who once befriended him, is pursued by a treacherous bounty hunter who is anxious to capture the former bandit and keep the money for himself.
That's a very complicated storyline.
Starring Jim Brown.
Whoa.
Ed the Hammer Williamson.
Okay.
Lee Von Cleef.
Lee Von Cleef. Wow.
I assume he's the treacherous rancher.
He's got to be. Unless that's Jim Brown. I can't.
No, what's the name of the movie again?
Take a Hard Ride.
Take a Hard Ride. All right.
If we ever actually do another podcast, it's going to be going back and doing the best stuff from what else was on.
Yeah.
So, because there's some real gold.
There is some gold. TV movies, one-offs. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Kev, you got 7 or you got 3? Both of these are NBC shows. We have the NBC at 9 show and the NBC at 10 show.
Excellent.
Give me the 9 o'clock.
It's BJ and the Bear. Episode titled Lobo. BJ returns to Orley County, where the unscrupulous Sheriff Lobo stands trial for bank robbery, only to find himself in prison after Lobo gets off scot-free. Damn you, Lobo.
Damn you, Lobo. Not again.
And finally, we will wrap up this segment, and then we'll start talking about the episode of The Love Boat. I'm very excited about this, actually. At 10 p.m. on NBC tonight was the final episode of...
Centennial.
Oh, not Centennial.
First up for sure.
Super Train. Are either of you familiar with Super Train?
No. No.
Zooming from one end of America to another, Super Train is a vision of railroading of the future. The train, equipped with restaurants, pools, spas, theaters, and more, delivers passengers to their destinations in style. In Love Boat style, each week, special guest passengers have their problems to resolve before the end of the trip. This was the last episode. It got a 3.5 on the IMDb rating. So,
that's Hogan-like.
The only thing I think we've seen lower was when Superdome, the movie, was on. But Mike, the captain of the Super Train, is the bagpipes guy from the Life Begins at 60 group.
Oh God! Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So
I didn't see that coming.
No.
When you said "Guess Who," I certainly didn't think that guy.
No. I was like, why do I know this guy's name?
Oh,
That's right. He sucked in episode 3 of this thing.
Terrible.
All right. Well, thank you both for playing What Else Is On.
Yeah,
that was a
thank you.
That was a robust version, but all that stuff was good. I didn't know what to leave out. So
very exciting.
Back to the Love Boat. Let's go to the credits real quick. Sid Charisse plays Eve Mills. Sid Charisse, best known for Singing in the Rain, probably,
yeah,
I think.
I would say so.
But she was a big star of musicals. Charo is back as April Lopez, second of her 10 appearances that we will see. So
crazy.
Kev, if you become the Charo expert, you got a gig every season. So.
Yeah. Can I say something really quickly about Charo? Interesting connection here, Mike, and you're going to get a kick out of this. So I was looking at what has Charo done, just looking at her IMDb, but specifically looking at TV appearances. And I got to 2012. And she was on a show called Celebrity Wife Swap, right? But it was weird because the celebrities were the wives on this episode. Episode 5, season 4. Charo switched places with Jill Whelan, who will be back next season as Vicky. I just thought that was an interesting connection what a weird.
So it's like it's a wife swap show?
It was called Celebrity Wife Swap. The best one they had like Mick Foley and then like somebody else's like wives swapped. Like the wives of those people swapped. But I think in this, the husband swapped. I don't know. I didn't see the episode.
Gotcha.
I find it so interesting that that Mankind reference comes up.
You talking about Mick Foley?
Yeah, I'm talking about that.
I mean,
I thought you were talking about Dude Love.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about
Cactus Jack.
Cactus Jack. Yeah, man. It's the sport of kings, of course. Also, her birth name was Maria Rosaria Pilar Martinez Molina Baeza. Fact.
Yeah, you think that's the best birth name of the cast members in this episode, but you would be wrong. But we'll get to that.
Interesting.
Ann Mira
right?
and Jerry Stiller.
Yeah.
Real life married couple. Play a fake life married couple, Margaret and Bud Harahan. They are on the boat 3 times, and they are on the boat together 3 times. So we will see them again in seasons 5 and 6. 2 of their kids did not make the portals, but I just wanted to note, we already talked about Corey Feldman as Charlie Harahan. He'll be back again in season 5. He probably got the most run, but I don't think he was a real child star at this point. So his sister, Katie Kurtzman, who played Katie Harahan, this is her only appearance. Interesting, when you look at her IMDb profile, the first line of her biography talks about her brother, because her brother is the little bully in A Christmas Story.
Oh, wow. That's funny. Wait, is Katie Kurtzman, is she the one that almost choked on the burger? Or is she
so. I couldn't get the 2 daughters.
I don't know.
So I thought it would be the older blonde.
Maybe. Yeah.
She was blonde, so maybe it was her. Yeah. They didn't do a great. I know they introduced him at the very beginning, but I didn't follow it after that. So, but
yeah, me neither.
Craig Stevens plays Frank Pierce. First of 3 episodes. He'll be back for 2-parters in both season 6 and 9, because they love their 2-parters.
They do. They do.
Craig Stevens was born Gail Shickles Jr. So,
makes sense.
Yeah.
When you go to Craig Stevens, Shicklesworth. Shittlesworth. Shittlesworth? Shicklesworth.
Shickles
Jr. Sorry.
Can you use it in a sentence,
Mr.
please?
Shickles was my father. Please call me Gail.
If Mr. Shickles is my dad, call me Craig Stevens, please.
Craig Stevens. Call me Franklin Pierce.
Call me Frank Pierce, please.
Yeah.
Imagine the wife who got married to him before he changed his name, and then he changed his name, and she's like, "You dick. I'm stuck with Mary Shitknuckles for the rest of my life, and you're friggin' Craig Stevens."
Finally, also not in the portals, Steven Schnitzer, I don't know, a lot of names this week, as Francois. This may come as a shock to you. Francois, born in Massachusetts. So.
He's from El Paso, thus the accent.
All right. Anything to get in before we get on the boat here?
Just second time, I was just like, so I knew I was getting Charo, did not know I was getting Frank Costanza. So just kind of like
bonus.
Really went in there really happy. So
little. I didn't want to tell you. I didn't know it when we originally gave you the episode, but it was a nice little Easter egg for you.
Pretty good stuff.
Yeah. So. Now, Kev, I know that you said you had a lot of just like general Lubboat questions because obviously you have watched now 2 episodes and missed 46 in between. Yeah. So feel free to just pop in whenever you have your questions. We'll be glad to give you our expert analysis.
We're getting on the boat. We're setting sail. Still talking about intro. And I'm sorry if I brought this up last time, but Yale Man Purser, what exactly does that encompass? And I'm sure everybody has asked this question, so sorry.
Well, the worst part is he's not even the main purser. He's the assistant purser.
Right, he's the
Yale Man.
We looked it up one time because we kind of refused to look things up. They have something to do with money, a purse, basically. He ran the safe one time.
Yeah.
So that's the extent of our knowledge.
We're not 100% sure. It's not really clear.
Fake maritime banker is what we're going with.
It's almost.
Right.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know because then it would almost.
But in the water.
But like with the safe, it would imply that like there was some security to. You know what I mean? But we don't know yet. It'll all explain itself. We hope.
Is there a security guard on the Love Boat?
No. Never. Right. Never actually. So
it was
far.
A simpler time.
We implored last season, like early on.
The guy with the gun. We were like, how about
we were like, they should have just had like one guy and just stock footage and just drop him in every now and then just to look like there is some security on the
around.
Boat.
Something.
Yeah. This was a pretty passive boat, but we've had a lot of weeks where there's a guy with a gun or a knife or
last question. Casino on the Love Boat.
Pretty regular occurrence.
Yeah. They have a casino.
Not always. I think they have a casino night.
Yeah. There's a slot. There's definitely a slot machine that I think would be like fixed into the ground, but they had a carnival night a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, if you want to get your
they did have a casino night where they had like the tables and stuff.
Yeah. But I don't know I think it's just like a gimmicky.
Yeah.
You know.
I think this boat is built like the Wheel of Fortune prize wheel where you just kind of like spin it around.
Yeah, you just spin it.
Night.
Look, here's April singing another television theme song, and you spin it again, and it's a frickin' blackjack table.
All right. Let's get on the boat. Julie runs up the steps, greets the crew, and tells them that April Lopez will be the singer on this trip. Not Elton John, Aretha Franklin, or Tiny Tim, which were the guesses from the other 3 crew members.
Would have been great. Actually, it was Tiny Tim instead of April Lopez.
Hey, who guessed Aretha Franklin?
Isaac, yeah.
Isaac, of course.
Yeah.
Terrible, man. This is all he got, too. He got nothing in this episode. Poor Isaac.
Julie gives us our first coochie, which I don't think I was worried when this started because the great thing about Charo's appearance last season was that it wasn't the Charo I thought it was going to be. She actually was just acting, and she was doing some of these like
she was being
malaprops and stuff.
She wasn't like Charo on steroids.
So I'm like, oh God, is this going to be the Charo I think it is? Is it going
I
to be
thought
Coochie
so,
Coochie the
too.
whole time? Luckily, it wasn't. But
No, I'm glad they didn't go the Coochie Coochie route.
Isaac and Doc do a nice job of kind of giving new viewers April's backstory. Kev, I'm sure you appreciated it a lot. That she was a stowaway last season,
That's right.
and now she's working for the line as a lounge singer. And then we get the first mention of Steubing having discovered her. Julie says this.
He did not just. They just
He
did
did
that
not
to
discover
appease
her.
his ego,
Yeah.
so he wouldn't freak. Wow, and he's riding that, huh?
I had forgotten this specifics. So when I went back and listened to our episode, because I certainly wasn't going to go back and watch the actual episode,
God,
so this was easier.
Know?
April stows away.
Mhm.
They hide her from Steubing. Steubing finds her in a laundry basket. They send her off the boat at Mazatlan. She sneaks back on the boat behind a plant because that's the security level of the boat. She goes into Doc's office. Julie finds her and says that she has to tell Steubing, but she has a plan. And then their plan is to let her sing at talent night and give Steubing the credit for discovering her. So,
what a fool Steubing is. That's the moral of that story. Look how dumb Meryl is. Look how we tricked him, and he's still holding on to it. Like your 10th anniversary wasn't enough. We just came off your. You just got fifth.
Yeah.
Fifth? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got a new watch and everything. Just time flies. I guess. My bad.
The cereal box watch makes it
cereal box watch.
So I've got two things.
Yep.
I was expecting full Coochie Coochie the entire show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's almost all we got.
Very little.
There was dancing. There was gaffs, but as far as the proper one of those, that was about it. I think.
In the words of Gopher, I mean, sometimes half a cooch is just good enough,
And Supermom comes in.
Yeah. Supermom is right behind this nonsense. Well, first of all, hold on. Steubing went to pick up April. I don't know from where. And this is where Gopher asks what it's like to be a star, and then we get the Coochie Coochie. But then Julie's like, she probably needs some rest. Again, I don't know from what. Did they just rip her off a different line? Like, is she going
her on the thing? And, like, what did you just cross the international date line? Why is she? They get her on the boat. And she's like, she has to go. It's not like she's old. She just got on the boat. But why are you hiding her away, Julie?
Maybe she needs to freshen up because Steubing drove her, and we know how bad a driver he is. He probably had a couple.
They barely made it. He had a relapse.
He probably almost ran over the Harahans.
He can't help it. He can't drive it.
Steubing DUI.
Changed his life. He can't drive his pickup truck without a glass of scotch in his hand.
So, a couple of weeks ago, in order to convince Raymond Burr to stop drinking, Steubing tells this story that he hasn't had a drink in 10 years because he almost ran over a kid driving to the boat, which is bullshit because we saw him drink many episodes before this.
You know he drinks. I'm watching everything that's in his hand.
So,
I think he was drinking in my episode.
I think he was.
Yeah, I think he was
drinking
too.
in my episode for sure.
All right, now Supermom arrives. The Harahans are on board. Charlie, Katie, Sarah, Timothy, and Bud, who is Jerry Stiller.
All right.
Jerry Stiller comes in carrying all the stuff, all the toys, and like 30 years of frustration on his face.
They don't have carts. Just saying, the first time I watched this thing a few times, and I'm like, they don't have luggage carts? I don't think I've seen anybody on the show have a luggage cart. Like, they're going to make we're going to make this poor Bud carry all these bags in. And the wife, she's Supermom. I'll tell you what, she'd be more Supermom if she had a couple suitcases under each arm. You know what I mean? And walking in. Get out of here.
I think they come onto the boat with a 4-foot stuffed llama and leave with a different one.
They had to buy a knockoff because they lost the original one in
Yeah.
Mazatlan.
The other one's an
R.I.P.
alpaca because it's from Mexico.
R.I.P. stuffed llama. So,
Ah.
Stubing is just standing around doing nothing when he's approached from behind with a straighten up sailor. Turns out it's his old war buddy, Frank Pierce, like the president, who served in the Army in World War II while Merrill was in the Navy.
That's not a point of contention, by the way.
Nope, not at all.
So, Mike, I'm sure you have many thoughts on this, but first of all, we have talked about that they are aging up Stubing versus Gavin McLeod.
Mhm.
We had this come up, I think, when he gave Tony the Orphan that stupid ship thing 100 years ago.
What the thing
and
he
would
did,
have,
the nearest thing to his door in the office he could grab
yeah,
for him.
that he would have
yeah.
been like 15 in the war if he was Gavin McLeod's age. Gavin
Right.
McLeod was born in 1931. D-Day took place in 1944. They did not have 13-year-olds storming the beach, I would assume.
No, but he was picking up he was treating the wounded in his
That's
in his
right.
short shorts and knee socks. You could see his milky thighs running all over the beaches of Normandy,
That
helping
that
people.
that was a hard 13 years.
That was a hard 13. Something tells me he wouldn't. Yeah, he wouldn't be in the cruise ship industry if that really happened. But yeah,
Frank Pierce / Craig Stevens / Gail Schickles Jr. was born in 1918, so age appropriate.
That okay
for him.
Well, that's the thing is, I was thinking, okay, well, if he's mid-50s, then that works. But
yeah,
are you saying that they're trying to say that Stubing is early 50s to mid-50s?
No, I think they're saying he's late 50s. I'm so if you're 18 in 1944, that's 35 years. So now you're math.
37.
53. So I think they
which is on the young side. Yeah,
so I think he's like 57, 58. So.
Wow. Yeah, I that was my thing. Like, okay, well, math wise, if he's a certain age, it works, but he doesn't look that age. And the other thing, and I even wrote a note. Like, so maybe the math would add up if he was that age, but nothing else adds up. Like, there's nothing about Captain Stubing where I'd go, savvy veteran right there. Like, he salutes with 2 fingers. I mean, we've seen it a million times. Ugh. Yeah,
I figured you would.
He's just so annoying.
Frank brings up his old war injury pretty quickly. Getting the old shrapnel.
No cane.
Old Eagle Eye. Old Eagle Eye Stubing spots a foxy lady over there and tells Frank that she looks a lot like that USO girl singer from England. Eve something.
From 37 years ago. Look at her.
Yeah.
Like what?
Frank.
Easy, Tiger. It only hurts when you boogie.
Yeah.
That's right. Settle down. Don't make him spin like that. What's wrong with you?
Don't.
Come on. You're trying to have him like move on his pivot foot. Come on. He's clearly injured from shrapnel.
Like, it's just grinding.
Yeah.
In that knee, like
he can't play basketball because he can't post anybody up anymore. You know what I mean? What are you trying to do?
Frank turns around eventually, and he looks like he's just seen a sex ghost, and then he fills in the rest. Eve Mills. And Stubing, the man who is driving this boat with 600 people on it, doesn't pick up on the weirdness at all. Like, he's just...
Nothing. Oblivious.
Then, whoever this lady is, gets greeted by a young man who gathers her bags, and they head onto the boat. So I guess that's it. We won't see her the rest of the episode. So
that's it. I guess that wraps that up. Well, that can't be her. Although she is wearing a ring on her left finger, I noticed that. So I'm sure she's married to this French dude. Oh well.
Wait, do we even know he's French yet? He's just a dude.
He just looks French to me.
Hey,
He looks like a New England guy to me. So.
can we explain left finger real quick, please? I have several. like which finger? Like the pinky? Because it's the leftist one.
No, the finger you put a wedding ring on.
Like a ring
Left
finger?
hand.
Yeah, on your left hand.
Yeah, okay. So she wasn't wearing it on her left finger.
She was wearing it on a left finger.
If we're going to focus if we're going to focus on details, then we need to rethink this entire project here. So,
apologies for the 7-hour episode we're about to delve into.
This is the one. But yeah,
I feel like I've been quiet.
I felt like she had a ring on her left finger hand.
All right, can we move on from this?
Yeah.
After some stock footage, Eve and the French boy are in the hallway, and Eve spots Frank heading towards his room. She tells Frenchie that he looks like someone that she knew a long time ago. Frenchie's like, why don't we go over and talk to him? And she's like, I don't want to go over there because the man I knew is dead.
Sixth Sense all over again. You can see him, Francois? Thank God. Thank God. I just want to say that there was a quick scene when you were talking about that stock footage.
Yeah.
On that ticker tape scene, which only reason I noticed it, I've gone back a few times. And it's maybe one of the funniest parts of the whole episode. And it is Jerry Stiller aggressively throwing handfuls of ticker tape while everyone's just sort of tossing it. And he's throwing fastballs, like multiple. I was laughing out loud. It was so funny. I don't know if he was trying to be funny, but it was good.
Anytime I'm doing the notes, I miss that stock footage stuff because I just assume we're not doing specific ticker tape anymore. So
they snuck it in there, man. Do yourself a favor. It's worth watching.
All right, it's dinner time already. And Charo finds out from Gopher and Julie that she's supposed to sit at the captain's table with Steubing. And she's like, I got to go.
Yeah. No. How you say don't present?
Yeah. So
yeah, she's like, no, I'm not. You know what? She's like, I'm not going to be somebody's trophy.
Yeah.
Good for you, April.
Yep, I agree. This is probably the last time that Julie tries the hard gaslighting, but it still bothered me with the whole Discovery thing.
Yeah.
April's got some real like Pomeranian hair in this.
She's got a lot of hair.
It's a lot of hair, but it's like the you know what I'm saying? Like
she has some rubber bands on the side. I think it's like
rubber bands. There's just like 2 ponytails out the top of the head.
She's got a lot of hair.
Coochie. Scrunchy.
Scrunchy.
She'd look good in one of those unicorn clips. One of those, the Charo version of My Little
One of us has a daughter.
Only one.
With no April, the captain's table is a little thin. It's a real sausage party over there right now.
Yeah. What happened to the boy girl?
Well, there's no girls at this point.
You got a whole boat full of people. Like, it's just an odd that you have. It's like you said, maybe it's sausage night. Like, it's just we're to have more men but it was oddly. And he's back to the end of the table. It was very uncaptainly.
This is the same physical table, I think, but they moved it down.
Yeah, it was in a weird.
It used to be in the corner the last few weeks, so they keep moving the captain's table. I feel
like the angle was shot as if that person was Radar O'Reilly eating that brown liquid, like where his seat was. It was almost like they had a camera. It was it was weirdly shot.
But maybe this is why the captain's table is so empty all the time. They keep moving it. No one can find it.
No one can find it. Oh.
So it's Doc, Frank, and Steubing, and then a late arriving Eve shows up.
Uh-oh.
The two of them even Frank just kind of stared at each other for a while.
Steubing's still oblivious to
no idea.
He's so excited he's about to eat. Who's got
I
tons of
haven't-
suspicion?
He hasn't had a drink in 10 years.
That's
goddammit.
right.
Yeah,
That's
but he had
right.
a donut 10 minutes ago.
That's
so-
it. It's the meal before the meal.
So before anything more can be said, the Frenchman shows up late, typical Frenchman.
Typical Frenchie.
But he gets zero introduction, right? He just shows up, sits down, talks to Eve, and eventually says, "Hi, everybody." Now, we find out later why he got no introduction.
But nothing. Hi, he should have been like, this is Francois. The captain didn't even want to meet him. Captain was just like, he was sitting right, nothing.
Well,
At the captain's table.
Yeah.
At the proper captain's
Nothing.
table.
I don't think the
Right.
captain even
Taking
got up
Charo's
when he
seat.
showed up.
I'm not saying, I understand that maybe she didn't want to say who he was, and we'll get to it, but because of Frank, right? But you could also say this is definitely not the guy I'm banging. Like, you could
Yeah.
say
Oh,
something
it's
else.
not romantic with this one. He's
Yeah.
he's my, I don't
He's
know.
my French boy. He's my
He's
special French boy.
My special French boy. Oh, yeah, it was weird to just
He's my beautiful little French baby boy.
look at him.
You know, in France, Francois means Frank. Did you know that?
I did not know that. And also, they don't look down on single women having babies in France too, which
No,
is a
it's
fact
not-
that
It's not like Nebraska.
Not like Nebraska. Yeah. Not like Nebraska. Absolutely.
The Harahans are having dinner, including an adorable and innocent-looking Corey Feldman.
Okay. I've got to cut in here because this is where I finally realized it was Corey Feldman.
Okay.
And his name is Charlie. And his dad is really, really pissed off about everything in his life. And this is I almost had to stop watching at this point because, like, when they like, it's super mom. It's like I just can't at that point, man. Fuck.
Somebody owes me some royalties for this episode.
Yeah, no kidding.
Man, oh man. Like,
That's
it's then there's the Star Wars play that comes in, and it's a lot. It's a lot here.
Yeah, it's what you think going to dinner with 4 children would be, you know.
And one of them's Corey Feldman.
The kids
Well, going
are
to
not
dinner at
terrible. The kids are not terrible, right? They're just being kids.
No,
Well,
he's
they're
a
being
bad
kids.
kid.
They're being kids because they just got on the boat and somehow they whisk April to her cabin and they whisk every other passenger to dinner. Like, but it's only 1:15 in the afternoon. Dinner is served.
Hey,
Hey, you kids like crab?
Jeez. Oh,
you went, Mike. What was that thing a couple weeks ago? Chicken. God, with the crawfish and stuff.
the crawfish and like cream. Yeah, it was a whole
Chicken mangione or mangoon.
Oh,
or
chicken
like
manganese or manganese or something like that.
Oh, God. Here, kid, eat that.
Yeah, eat this.
Napoleon loved it. Eat that.
Yeah, and get comfy for the upcoming 2.5-minute show. Not much of an entertainment, 2.5, if that. That's the entertainment. Sweet.
There's 2 shows though. So,
Oh, I'm saying,
yeah.
She's coming in, clocking in at a fat 5 minutes for the night, and she's being an Emmon. Get out of here.
but Bud brings up spilled milk, which of course leads to spilled milk, and Corey Feldman tries to clean it with the tablecloth.
Knocks it over a mother.
Yep. And then one point the daughters want to get up and leave, which Bud thinks is a great idea, but nope. And Mira's like, we're gonna have this classy meal. Corey Feldman then won't eat, and she does the move where there are millions of starving Wookiees, which was very nice. This was the most Star Wars we got.
Yeah.
All right. So how close is this to Star Wars in the theater or Star Wars premiere or height of Star Wars? Like,
so 2 years after Star Wars came out, almost to the day, if this is
Yep.
May 5th. So yeah, it's like 2 years out, but probably means it was starting to really like get into
Yeah, it was picking up.
It's like
re-release.
lunchbox territory.
Exactly. Yeah, and Empire's next year, I think. So
Yeah.
This was big.
I do want to say that there were. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'll wait. I'll wait. I think you might address it, so I'll wait. I don't want to step on it. Go ahead.
So we are kind of shooting over the dining room area, and an army of red jacketed waiters come down with some sort of food that is on fire.
Baked
There's
Alaska.
Baked
Is it
Alaska.
Baked Alaska? Okay.
Yeah.
There are 17 waiters. There are more people in this 2-second shot than we have seen in 2 seasons as far as crew goes.
Yeah. Who are
And
these people?
they are all whisking this dessert around. And then someone just in the crowd goes, "Woo!"
Yeah.
They love. He's probably from Alaska. Woo! Shout out. Woo!
And like we learned a few episodes ago that it takes 20 minutes for them to make a Baked Alaska. So
That's
they're making
true.
12 Baked Alaskas.
Or just one. I think they made just one big one and they just cut them. But that's
Chop it
not
up?
real. You can't chop it up because if you chop it up, the ice cream melts. It's a self-contained unit.
I feel like Mr. Taylor is
Mm.
acting like he knows how to put together a baked Alaska and really
No. I know how to eat one. I know what one looks like right before I eat it.
And it's not chopped up.
It's not chopped up. It's because
Okay.
it's ice cream sealed in like cake. I will
Vice
say
versa.
vice versa. Yeah, you got it. It's one is a serving. I wanted to say that there was something at 9 minutes and 43 seconds, a timestamp here. You know when the girl was eating her hamburger and rocking her chair back? 9 minutes and 43 seconds. If you stop it
Yeah.
there, you will see
I
a
read
hand.
about this. I didn't see it. Yeah.
You'll see a hand like holding the chair so the chair doesn't fall. And then it's there for about 2 seconds and then it's gone. But it was noticeable. It
Yeah.
made me, number one, it made me feel better because at first I was like, man, that girl fell down. Is there some sort of like, is there a stunt girl?
OSHA.
Like, how's that work? But
That's
yeah, she was all right.
Man, you guys have watched a lot of Love Boat to pick out a phantom hand.
Hey, something
You
looks
know?
out of place. It's kind of like that 3 Men and a Baby thing. What was it when they saw? Oh, there's a ghost.
Oh, the ghost of like the crew member who had died. Yeah. So you think that was the hand of that chef who died? Like, so.
They still don't talk about him. They still don't
R.I.P.
talk about him at all.
Nameless chef.
Mm-mm.
All right. Stubing is asking Eve if she still performs and then starts reminiscing about that show at Dartmouth about a month before D-Day.
Oh, here we go.
She got a better ovation than Bob Hope and someone named Jerry Colonna?
Vale? Jerry Colonna? I know Jerry
It wasn't
Vale,
Jerry
but
Vale. I don't know who Jerry Colonna is.
Me neither. I've never heard
Or even
of
if they
him.
said Jerry Colonna. But anyway, Eve says that she's got better legs than both of them. So
Great. Good for you, Eve. Good for you. A little mismaker
Better
about
than Bob
yourself.
Hope's.
Better than Bob's
remember
Hope.
Jerry, a bowl.
I don't know this Jerry Colonna, this hot piece of ass.
Yeah.
But like,
He's
I
an
know
Italian.
Bob Hope.
He's
ain't
got
a
balls up to
far,
the yin.
hurdle to reach.
Jerry Colonna, that famous Italian singer with the great gams.
The great getaway sticks.
He wears short shorts. Look at him pins.
Is it possible that
He's the best pair of gams I've seen since Jerry Valley.
isn't it possible that no one has ever seen Bob Hope's legs? Like it's very possible.
It's
right?
funny you say
I
that.
haven't. I'm lying.
I can't
I'm
imagine.
lying.
I bet you he would
They
wear
could
long
be
shorts.
magnificent. I don't
Right.
know.
Yeah.
Doc, in a loaded question, asks Stubing if he was part of the invasion of Normandy. Stubing says he was on a transport awaiting the injured. There is zero chance that if Stubing was involved in D-Day, that Doc wouldn't have heard that story 700 times.
If Stubing was involved in D-Day, we wouldn't have won the war. The whole thing would have been a failure. Somehow he would have been jealous. That other boat has a bigger something. It would have been so petty. The landing would have been a failure. We would have lost the war.
The only D-Day he's involved in is Danish Day.
That's it. That's it. Ooh. You know, he didn't want his pastries to get wet. Well, can I?
Drinking day.
He had a bunch of baguettes
Scones.
that he got off the shack at the beach. He was like
He
rolling back home.
lined his helmet with orange scones. Oh, that's why his hair fell out. All that direct contact with sugar.
Oh God,
I
Frank
feel like
was
there's
one.
an ingrained hate of old Stubing here.
We've actually gotten soft on him. He's been
We
better
gotten soft.
lately, but
Yeah, he's been better. But this is,
he does like his sweets.
the fruit's low right now.
Frank was one of the first customers on that injury boat, which leads us to find out that Merrill was the best man for Frank's wedding.
Wow.
So that's 2 best mans that he's been. He was Leslie Nielsen's best man too, right?
He's sad. He's always a bride.
Always the best man ever.
Always sad, Stubing. And he's always wearing his uniform too, hoping like that's gonna put him over the top.
Don't wear white to
licking donut fingers.
Yeah, it never does.
Do you have the ring and it's just covered in jelly?
It's a jelly ring.
Is this confectioner sugar?
Oh God.
Oh, right. Back
Poor
at the
Stewie.
Stiller's cabin, and it's bedtime because Bud needs to get some alone time with Mom.
That's weird.
Yeah. Well,
Come on.
Paper thin, first of all.
Yeah.
But she is. I did not know this. You said that's his real wife.
Yes.
Okay. She's hotter than Estelle.
Yes, that is true.
Oh.
That is true. So, the upshot is whether it is actually, I mean, they say it's their second honeymoon, but there's really not a lot of indication that like you would actually bring 4 kids to your second honeymoon, right? So,
well, clearly that's what his expectation level is.
Unless you're super mom.
Yeah.
Unless you're Ruby Frankie.
So I need to write that down because I forgot what it was the other day when you told me. I know. So basically, Jerry Stiller's trying to get some hanky panky in, but Margaret's like, the kids are right here. What happens? The door's shut, blah, 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 blah. When she finds out that the door has been shut because, Bud wants some action, she's like, wait. And then Charlie wakes up. This angers Jerry Stiller. Frank is getting upset. He heads out. He grabs his coat and he's headed out. So
he looked weird. Like his shirt just looked dirty. You know what I mean? Like his shirt just looked off white. It looked weird. I think
that is the Costanza stain that you're getting. Like it's like a faux Costanza stain.
It's like an old.
These guys have time to do laundry for themselves. They have 4 kids.
Wow.
He's wearing suspenders for God's sake.
Yeah, he is. But they're like much whiter than the shirt he's wearing. That's why I was like, wow, those are some white suspenders as opposed to that dirty ass shirt you're wearing.
It's like a St. Louis Rams fan.
Hey, R.I.P. Rams. Those dirty ass socks. That's right.
All right. For the first of way too many times, Stubing takes the Acapulco Lounge stage to introduce April. He does start to say that he discovered her, but he at least says that he discovered her in a laundry basket. So, like, he doesn't sell it as much as Julie was selling it. So I'll give him that.
Yeah, but does anybody need him to introduce anybody? Just bring her on.
Or let
Nobody
Julie
wants to
introduce,
hear his crap.
like always, or Gopher. Like, it's not the captain of the boat's job to introduce.
No, have that imposter sax player introduce her. Somebody musically.
It was nice to see our old friends, the ship band, back.
They're back.
It's been a while.
Good to see them. Yeah,
it's been a while. So those guys know every song from before 1940.
Every style too.
So she sings a rendition of Love Boat theme, right?
Yes.
And like you said, you looked it up, or at least her TV career. Does she have music? Does she have a hit song? Is she that's all lip synced, obviously. Is that her singing? Does she sing? I don't
I
know.
don't think she sings. I think she sings.
She is, oddly enough, I asked the same question. Like what, and then and the question led me to, okay, what is it that she did or does to make her famous, other than the English puns, right?
Yeah, coochie
Um,
coochie.
she studied under one of the world's finest flamenco guitarists. She's from Spain, and she studied under him since she was like little tiny. So she was like this amazing beautiful flamenco guitarist from Spain. That's how she got her foot in
Guitarist,
the
not
door.
just dancer. Guitarist.
Guitarist. I think this
Okay.
dancing thing is just, whatever, but that was her main.
Did she play? She may have played a guitar in the first season.
She
song.
did. She
Yeah.
did.
So
Flamenco style.
It wasn't.
no, I think it was a pretty standard
basic.
rock song, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but she apparently she had some serious skills, and that's what got her foot in the door.
Good.
Well,
for
that's
her.
a damn shame.
Yeah.
For Charo.
So yeah, as Kev said, she is singing the theme song to the show we are watching, which means it exists in this universe. But we have heard this referenced as the Love Boat a couple times. Not a lot, but a couple times. So
Yeah, that's true.
So it is kind of a weird thing. Mike, is this a better rendition than the disco Love Boat theme that we heard back at Julie's reunion?
No, that was awesome. That was awesome. The people were dancing at each other. I will
Do we
say,
know what One Hit Wonder put together Love Boat Disco?
probably Paul Williams. In his off time, he just kind of threw it together.
Oh, I thought it was Disco Joey.
It could have been Disco Stew.
Disco
He didn't have the technological know-how. He could dance. And,
I could dance. I don't put the rhythm together.
I will say, I think it's odd that, say you're casting this show this week and you're like, all right, we have a dance number. All right, we have Charo. Who else do we have? Let's see. Anybody else that dances at all? Sid Charisse is like, I was in dancing in the rain, and they're like, not really what we're looking for. And she names all the one. They're like, no, we'll have this guitarist do it, and she'll just kind of shake around to weird disco music. The dancing was a little bizarre. Like that, you're gonna sing.
I think that was her bit. I think that was her bit.
She sings for 43 seconds and then shakes it for another minute, and she's like, "Thank you very much."
Okay,
night.
So she gets a welcome round of applause.
Oh, yeah, and several bottles of champagne.
This was much longer than 40. This was much longer than 43 seconds because it's funny. The first time I watched it on Paramount Plus, the second time, at least this season, I watched it on YouTube because it's just quicker.
No music, though.
I guess for copyright, they took the music out, and nothing makes that song feel longer than when there's none of it. So it was a while, but
for my final watch, I watched it just before we recorded. I watched the YouTube version on TV, just to have that TV feel, and it was the same thing. And I was like, God, this is still going on. It's
it's weird. It's weird. Eve and Francois are walking on the deck, and Frank is doing his best Dean Martin impression. He's just getting blots.
I love that you said that. And because I said, do those make a comeback? Those Dean Martin glasses. That might be later in the show.
Oh, I have those.
But do those ever make a comeback? It's like the aviators with the bar on the top.
These are.
It was like the Bionic Man used to wear.
They are the best glasses we have ever seen on this show. They are amazing glasses.
Yeah.
They're fantastic.
I think I brought that up too early.
It's okay.
I would wear those glasses.
I may have to wear those glasses. They look fantastic.
I feel really comfortable with those glasses.
Frank is drunk. Stubing is kind of pressing him on why, because Stubing still has not understood the plot. Finally, Frank's like, listen, you idiot.
Listen, dummy.
I had an affair with Eve Mills for a month, a wonderful month in London. Why didn't you tell me? Because it wasn't the kind of thing you told your friends.
Wait, It wasn't an affair.
Well, sorry,
No,
a
it was
torrid
a-
romance.
It was a
torrid
torrid,
romance.
a
Yeah,
month.
it was a wartime romance.
Secret.
Well, I mean,
romance.
affair in the sense, not anyone
Yeah.
cheating, but
Yeah.
like,
An affair.
yeah.
Yeah. An affair in the nice way, not the
Yeah,
tawdry
not in
way.
the real worst way.
Yeah, in the nice way where you have an unborn child and get shot on the beaches of Normandy. So.
Or he desperately tries to communicate with her, and Kathy Bates is his nurse, going, shut your cocky duty, shut your cocky duty mouth. Just.
I mean, I guess you could classify it as an English affair if you wanted to.
Yeah, that's true.
He survived that book, the Misery. He was the English version of Misery. Got
so, Frank got shot. Ended up on Stubing's boat. Ended up in the hospital. He wrote Eve's letters every day, but never heard back from her, and so he just assumed that was the end of it, and that ended their romance. And now he's like, "I'm going to bed."
Yeah. Good night, and I'm done.
And
I'm completely
my
hammered.
48-year-old self is coming out right now. I'm out of here.
Oh yeah, and I am completely hammered.
And that's it for a very long Act 1.
Very long Act 1.
Act 2 starts. We are post-concert, and Isaac, in a rare Isaac appearance tonight, brings over a bottle of Cristal. Compliments of Mr. Roger Peterson.
This is Roger Peterson. Hope you enjoy it.
Don't mind me.
It's so creepy.
He was like,
who is this guy?
He reminded me of like Lao Chang or wherever that guy was from Indiana Jones. Like he was
just weirdly smoking.
He's right behind him too.
Who gave Roger Peterson a fucking hookah back there?
No kidding. So this is
like invite him over. Like you want to drink with us? You're sitting right there. Like turn your chair.
Buy a round, motherfucker.
No, but there's more to it. I think Roger Peterson's showing up on every cruise and just hunting down April Lopez because she was all she was like, every time I come on this boat, I see Roger Peterson. He sends me a bottle of Cristal.
Coochie.
I'm so tired of Cristal every time.
But Mr. Peterson is not the only bottle buyer tonight. We also have Mr. Leonard, Mr. Turman, Mr. Merritt, an anonymous buyer, and a Mr. Taylor bought a bottle of champagne.
No. Different. Different. That's Tyler Taylor.
Just saying.
Yeah. Wait, can I ask this is maybe a question, a naive question here. So what was April thinking these people were buying the champagne? Like, I don't understand. She was all creeped out because they were buying it for her. Was that just like, why were they buying her? I don't understand why they were buying. What was the expectation if they buy her a bottle of champagne?
Because they say that just because she's in show business means these guys want her to do the monkey business.
Yep.
Oh.
It's all right. It's all right on the screen, Mike.
Yeah, just read it, Mike. Just read it.
Really drop that one, Mike.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Ew. Right?
Yeah. We basically then start to learn that, Charo's not happy with the show business lifestyle, and kind of leads to her saying that she wishes she had Julie's talent and Julie's job because she doesn't want to be in the star business anymore.
Star business, isn't that going a little far here? Like, whoa, slow your roll. Slow your roll. You just sang for maybe a minute and a half.
You tell that to her and her 8 upcoming appearances.
Well, according to Doc, she's the finest singer on the line. Really? This is the finest singer on the line?
I mean, that could be true.
Oh.
So she wants to be cruise director, correct? This is her new path.
Yes.
And they give her a little taste. Why is Doc all Chevy Chase looking Doc walking around with this like tour, like with like, oh, here's what I do for a living, and Doc's like just coming along. What's up?
He's just strolling. He's strolling,
just
looking for
Oh, God.
injuries. He's anybody hurt? Nope. I'll keep
Anybody
strolling.
hurt? Oh, then
Nope.
I'm just gonna follow the
keep
piece of
on
ass
moving.
around. It's all good.
Yeah. What's that? Yes, that is a daiquiri in my hand. Are you injured? No. Good. I'm strolling.
So
He's just walking.
to Mike's point,
Hmm.
like the time between Charo wanting to try a different job and the education of the different job is like 2 seconds. Like they just skipped through dinner.
He just
like,
gave her
they
a
just-
jacket. Here you go. All right. I'll talk to
Yeah.
the captain. Psych.
She's still got the pony, the Pomeranian tails up.
Yeah. So the next scene, Isaac shows up in a different color jacket than he had on when he was giving out the champagne.
Yeah,
So
like
Isaac has
off-white.
changed his jacket already
Yeah.
tonight.
Hey, we have more costume changes than you have lines this week. All right. Congratulations.
Poor Isaac.
Poor Isaac.
That is when Jerry Stiller is at the bar. Isaac runs over in his different jacket. He got changed just for this line where he asks Jerry Stiller if he wants anything, and he's like, "Not chocolate milk." And that's the end of Isaac for the episode.
So I think Stiller may have had a proper drink in front of him at that point.
It was brown-ish. It was something.
It wasn't chocolate milk.
No,
He
it
didn't
wasn't
order a
milk.
chocolate milk.
He didn't have
Unless he
Kahlua.
ordered one chocolate milk and it was like no more
Yeah.
chocolate.
I could see it. Can I have a toasted almond with a little bit of chocolate syrup in it?
Oh God, it's just gravy. it's just meat.
Yeah. Yeah. Cousin pork gravy.
All right, Julie, as Kev said, is now kind of begun the lesson. The teacher has become the student.
There it is.
And of course, this leads to Charo taking some of the tips from Julie and is immediately on top of Frank Costanza. They are doing the Latin hustle.
Yeah, no kidding. Very aggressive. I understand she's learning the job, but like there are like social norms, right? I mean, it's not like she's from a different country, not from a different planet. Like how is they made her like oblivious to like custom? Come on. It's ridiculous.
So she basically asks for Bud to dance and just molests him on the dance floor for 5 minutes. They were like, we don't have a lot of script here, so just go nuts, you two.
She dipped him too. She dipped him and then smooched him like on the face somewhere. Like, jeez. Relax.
The funniest part of this was when she first starts gyrating, all the men on the dance floor turn around.
Oh, everyone stops dancing.
Yeah. The women eventually join in and watching, but at first it's just like the men, which was funny. So
all the women are just drinking just glasses, just like, look at her. I bet you every woman hated her.
Oh, definitely. I mean,
they're
the
like,
two,
enough.
basically the two we saw hated. Eve didn't care, but the rest of them hated her. So
they were like, well, Eve was just going to out talk singer. So, but I'm sure we'll get to that. She's a big Lou Reed fan.
It's the next morning. Bud is waking up with a world-class hangover and Corey Feldman on top of him. Been there, brother.
See that sweet watch he picked up to look at? Like it was one of those digital ones with just a little time and date, and that's it.
All right. So if Bud is so hungover right now, how did he get? He's in full on red jammies. He had to go digging around in like drawers and everything to get these like a full set matching red jammies.
Not wrinkled either. Like it was put
just
away.
Like, and
timely.
You're waking up and he's all like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Like, how did you put those on? Like,
maybe he has 5 pairs of red jammies. So just an occasion like that. They're all
doesn't
hanging in
matter.
the
Like,
closet.
do you
He
think they're
doesn't
like
have to match
lager?
tops or bottoms.
It just doesn't matter.
grabs
They're all
the
red.
penis.
Same size.
Do you think it's like logging like underwear where it's like the little
Yeah.
box in the back. And
Yeah, you
he's
just
Yeah,
step in
yeah.
it. Yeah. You never have to take it
he
off.
unbuttons to take a shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Margaret kind of tells Bud to cool it because the kids are around. Darth Vader shows up. That interrupts the romance for now.
Again, what an odd time. Like, relax there, Jerry Stiller.
Well, he's taking his shots when he can.
It's just odd. There's kids sleeping. There's stuffed animals everywhere, and he's like, "I need it."
He's
Look at
hungover.
look at my sexy PJs. They're
Hey,
red. I need it.
I gotta have sex with my real wife so bad right now.
I love it because the circumstances have not made it any more difficult than it was last night. Except
Yep.
there's a kid in our bed, and
No,
like, what are you
it's
doing?
far more
And
difficult.
it's morning.
Yeah. It's morning. He's hungover.
Yeah.
He's filled up on chocolate milk.
Like, what are you? It clearly doesn't feel good. You know, it's like, what is driving you, sir? Like, you may get sick. You have a headache. What is? Man,
I feel like we need to give a shout out to his fake hangover, his acting hangover.
oh, this one.
Yeah.
Because he looked.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be that.
Hey, when I
didn't
saw
wanna be
the
that guy right
I saw the temple rub, I went, hold up, pause. This is a whole new direction. This man is clearly hungover now. Put the timestamp.
Okay, so these are the sunglasses that Kev brought up. Frank
There
is
we
wearing
go.
the boss ass tinted glasses.
Superhero
Golly.
glasses.
Just-
So
I
awesome.
mean, it looks like when Dean Martin died, that's what he was wearing.
Frank took him off Dean Martin's body.
Yeah.
I've been looking for this guy for quite a long time. Weird that Lawford was on last week.
He's taking out the Rat Pack military
That's
style.
One by one. I'll take Lawford's glasses next time, you son of a bitch.
All right, so Frank runs into Eve in the hallway, and Eve's like, "I
Ugh.
thought you were dead. The least you could have done was told me."
Imagine somebody overhearing that. What the hell is going on in this hallway? What kind of crazy cruise is this? It's a Jerry Springer cruise. What?
This is where we get the kind of details filled in. So Frank was in the hospital for 8 months, but he wrote all those letters, and he can't understand how Eve didn't get them. He gave them to his nurse.
Mm-hmm.
Nurse ended up being the woman he married.
Huh, interesting.
So long story short, Frank married his nurse who didn't send the letters.
Nope.
And then she died.
Long
Maybe.
story short, Frank throws the best D. of all
Or-
time.
or
Yeah, that's
this-
injured.
He's got all
That's
of Europe, all of wartime Europe on it.
That's injured Frank. He is coming in under 100%.
She was like, I just have one question. Where was he shot? In the leg? Okay. Okay, thank God.
Francois shows up. They invite him to breakfast. Frank says no, and he hobbles off to the deck. And she was checking him out just to make sure that it was leg
Yeah.
injury.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Did he switch legs?
I wanted to check. I didn't think of it until after I had watched it.
I did, and I felt bad for.
I'm
looking,
gonna
and I
give
stopped
Gail
looking.
Schickles Jr. credit for keeping them.
It was a little shady in the open. That's all I'm going to say in the first scene, but I let it
Whatever.
go.
We get a long stare from Eve, and we go to commercial. So that second act was a lot quicker than the first one.
Imagine if she did get all the letters. She gets on the boat and she's like, "Oh shit, how am I going to get out of this?" And be like, "Fuck. Oh, I thought you
opens up-
died."
She opens up her suitcase, and it's just all the letters.
I just want to spend the rest of my life with my beautiful son boy Francois.
My beautiful French boy.
Just stacks. I go around. Why do you carry them? Because I'm so glad that I didn't go that route. I'm so much better.
How many times my brother shot him on the beach of Normandy?
Francois' brother's a Nazi, a defector.
Oh. Whew.
All right. Act 3 starts with day
Ooh.
2 of training for April. She's even wearing Julie's jacket, so you know it counts this time.
Oh, now it counts. Yeah, official now.
Julie is explaining that making passengers comfortable is part of the job, but April once again finds herself with Jerry Stiller, and comedy ensues.
Comedy ensues.
One of my favorite lines of the show. Right up my alley-oop.
Oh yeah, that was a good one too. That was a good one.
Right up my alley-oop.
I will
Out of
say,
all of them, that was a strong one.
like part of her bit is the malaprops, but part of her bit is kind of like dirty malaprops.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because it's 1979 versus watching it today, but like they got away with some stuff that I don't know that you'd be able to slide through today. There's one coming up later.
You couldn't say half a coochie.
No. And I
Like
don't
what
think
Gopher
it's a
said, you
King
could-
Kong balls either. So
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
King
That's
Kong
fun.
balls?
we'll
Yeah,
get to
instead
it.
of
We'll
King
get
Kong
to
balls. Yeah, you know.
it. So she basically goes over, spills the beans in front of Ann Mira that April and Bud were dancing last night. This kind of pisses off Margaret.
Well, he said he was going for a walk, Mike.
Yeah, well, he
He
did. He
lied.
went for a walk.
He went
And a
for a walk
chocolate
and
milk.
a dance and a dip.
Yeah. So it didn't make Julie happy either, but April promised she'll be better next time. You know, we don't actually get a specific port location identified,
Nope.
but it's mariachi time. So
Yeah, I don't know where it is, but it's somewhere.
they don't even say. Yeah.
No. Normally there's an
Well,
announcement.
it's got to be Mexico. Like they
Well, yeah,
they
well,
come
it's
back
like-
they come back with sombreros on the right.
Well, we know it's Mexico, but I'm saying sometimes there's longer cruises and shorter cruises. They go to like Mazatlan, Acapulco, Puerto Vallarta.
I think the last time we saw a mariachi band off the boat was when
Tijuana?
Richard Mulligan took what's her name to Puerto Vallarta, right?
That's right.
And
That's right.
they walked by the mariachi band. So maybe it's Puerto Vallarta.
Well, did Stubing's non-alcoholic Mexican restaurant have a mariachi band?
That's a
I
good
don't remember.
point. I don't remember when Stubing took Raymond Burr on that romantic interlude. I'm not sure. So.
Awful.
So one quick question, and is Charo still around?
I mean, is
Or
she
has she
alive?
left us?
She is still alive, I believe.
She
when I
is
looked.
still alive.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I don't know how active she is, but she's still alive. So Frank is watching the band play from the deck. Eve kind of sneaks up on him. It takes him a minute to
Yeah.
notice that she's there. Not a lot of reaction skills for an army guy.
No. No wonder he got shot in the leg. Come on, man.
Yeah, right.
You don't have to be Spider-Man to have a little bit of awareness. Come on.
Eve thinks Frank has been avoiding her and says that he should buy her a drink, but Frank is looking around for Francois, and he says, "Oh, he usually shows up around this point." That was a great line. That was
good.
hysterical.
That
That was smarter than this show usually is. So I really
When he
liked
was
that.
like, "You've been trying to avoid me." I wanted Frank to say, "Yeah, I have been for 37 years." Like, and yet here you are.
I faked my own death.
Yeah. I shot myself in the leg to get away from you, you lunatic.
I fake married
Yeah.
my nurse.
Yeah, I put myself in the hospital for a legit 8 months. I really hurt myself on purpose.
I
You
convinced
nut job.
Eisenhower to storm the beaches of Normandy.
kidding.
So I had a cover story.
Good Lord, we switched beaches. That we were going to go to Somme. It was much closer and less rocky, and we said no because I told her that's where I was going. So we cannot go there.
Guess what? I was on Idaho anyway, bitch.
I like Ike. I hate Eve.
Yeah, she's not a stalker. Mhm.
So, well, here's the thing. If you're looking for Francois there, Frank, look up. Apparently he's in a plane because Eve sent him home.
I thought this was such a like, oh man, what a
seaplane.
love story.
I thought now at this point, I thought, well, that's just her like her French man lover. At this point, honestly,
Oh, they got me.
Yeah,
They
and
got
and
me.
I'm done with you.
they got me.
They got me.
Absolutely. I was fooled because I was like, what kind of guy? What's wrong? What's going on with Francois? Like,
Well, I guess I assumed at this point that he was like a boy toy. She's
that's what I
rich,
thought.
and
Kept
so
man.
she can send him off. But I felt bad for poor Francois.
So did I.
He only got half the trip, and he had to probably fly out of beautiful Mazatlan International Airport. So
Yeah, or he just. Well, where's he flying to? France?
the parking lot of LA to go pick him up at the end of the episodes.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, he couldn't have made it to France and then to LA. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
It's nothing. That was not exactly the Concorde they were showing there. So.
No, that's fine.
I think it was a seaplane. I think it took off from the lake.
From the lake, from
Like
beautiful
9
Mazatlan
propellers.
Bay.
So, it was the first plane.
Yeah, that's no Spear to St. Louis. That's for sure.
It was the Spruce Goose.
It legit looked like the Spruce Goose.
All right. On the Lido deck, April and Julie are about to either run jackpot bingo or select the order of entrance for the 1991 Royal Rumble. So we got the big ping pong shaker. And this is where Kev, she says, "What are we going to do with these King Kong balls?" And Julie corrects her, the ping pong balls.
All right.
Like she didn't know it.
So cut from now on. This is Friends. Didn't we want to see like a Latina ping pong ball trick at this point?
No.
Dios mío. Dios.
Plus
And
it's so
on
windy.
Cinco de Mayo there. Good Lord.
All right, you can pick it up now.
Julie explains the rules to bingo because,
Yeah, it's
sure.
difficult. Yeah, everyone already has their dauber ready to go, Julie. An explanation is not needed.
But we did find out about this week's big prize, a portable television set.
Look at that sweet thing.
That looked great.
Yeah.
But then Gopher shows
she's
up
Spanish, but she claims Mexican this whole time, right?
in the episode.
Episode,
April
yeah.
Lopez is Mexican. Yeah, Charo is Spanish.
Yeah.
She's got range. Gopher shows up after like Julie calls 2 numbers.
It whispers some.
Yeah, whispers something and they both leave. Like, what the hell was that boat emergency for?
They're Somalian pilots trying to board the ship.
Oh no!
Hey, April, I gotta go.
Kev's the captain now. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, I did see that.
So Julie's like, "Don't worry, April, you got it." I don't know what she was basing that on, but they split. And then she pulls the numbers and she starts reading the numbers in Spanish.
You wouldn't think Julie'd go, "Hey, can you say?" Yeah, no, yeah, she didn't. Julie just set her up.
Tricky. Who wins? Who wins this little bingo game?
So no one. Now, first of all, I knew every number they called. I don't speak fluent Spanish, but I know enough to know the numbers. But everyone on this boat except one guy is just like, "Buh." And most of these people are from Los Angeles. You don't know Spanish numbers? Come on, man.
But nobody says anything. You had all these people participating in the game.
Just the only Hispanic guy on there.
Yeah, one of the passengers couldn't help by saying the words in Inglés, por favor. Somebody, you know what I mean? Somebody couldn't have helped here.
I guess they
the
were
guy that won could have helped.
Well, why? He was keeping quiet.
He's gonna win that damn
He's
portable
like,
TV.
call as many numbers as you possibly can.
He's going back to his room and he's trying to get reception. He's trying to get chips.
He wants to watch that last episode of Super Train.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I heard there's this weird hash brownie episode.
So Steubing and Julie are back within 4 numbers?
Yeah,
like they're back. So whatever the emergency was not an emergency.
You didn't even have time to play a whole game of bingo. Like it wasn't even.
Steubing looks like he just walked in on like the greatest heist of all time. And before he can tell Miss McCoy to handle it, our friend, the Mexican gentleman who understood every number that was called, has hit bingo and wins the television.
It's funny that television looks suspiciously a lot like the TV that used to be in Stubing's office behind his desk. Just saying. Just saying.
I mean, that's
Nobody
cool
said
to win a
brand new. Did they say
TV, and
brand
it
new?
is portable, but now you gotta lug that thing around all day.
How portable is that TV really? The definition of portable in 1979 is a lot different than
Listen,
today. Like,
everything is portable
oh,
eventually.
theoretically, an elephant is portable, sure.
So yeah, Stubing's cranky about this, but turns out that the guy is from the same country as April. What a coinkydink.
Nice. Enjoy the TV.
Frank is telling Eve his charming stories of getting shot. This is where Eve catches on that Frank basically may have thought that she was bailing on a cripple. But Frank's like, that was in the past. Let's look at those legs again. So-
I did not understand this scene. Like,
It was-
maybe I'm just like too modern. I don't know. But I felt like she was hurt. Oh, how dare you say that to me? That you were a cripple.
See,
When
I
he
thought
was
she
just
was
like, I was scared. Like, I don't know. It was weird.
I thought she was taking it as, I hate that you thought of me
Yeah,
that way,
that's
but I
how I took it.
understand why you would have.
Sure, I get that. But again, listen, if they're going to throw the word cripple out there and this guy barely has a limp that might have switched legs in the first scene,
Same.
that is not
Same.
saying cripple.
Same.
I'm just saying.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
It's
not,
like
he's nice, barely cripple. He barely has a limp.
shrapnel does not equal cripple.
I mean, it could, but
It
not
could,
in this case.
but it does. It's not cause and effect.
I mean,
you know what
again-
I'm saying? Like he was not crippled.
No, he couldn't post anybody up anymore, as we reviewed earlier in the podcast, because of a pivot leg. But
Well,
he was walking up and downstairs.
He couldn't post me up. He might be able to
There's zero chance.
swing
There's zero
swing
chance.
one down on you. I don't know.
He is no Mike. He's no Mike Kelly. That's for sure.
No, God, no. Oh, I wish he was Mike Kelly.
Yeah.
He wishes he was Mike Kelly.
Everybody wishes they were Mike Kelly.
Yeah, greatest guy.
Meanwhile, April is still trying to please just one passenger at a time, and of course, it's back to Bud. They had her hands. Kids wonder why Dad didn't join them on their sightseeing trip, and then one of the kids is like, "He's seeing the sights pretty good right here."
Yeah.
It was well
Zing.
timed. It was very well timed.
Like
Yeah.
he's certainly with Charo in his entire family's point of view, right? Like,
It's
Yep.
funny.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. So Margaret's still pretty pissed about all this, and she leaves with the family. There will be no shuffleboard.
Mm.
Julie comes
No
back with bad news. Stubing has decided this is a bad idea. April's a real washout when it comes to being a cruise director, which, fair, I guess.
It's not
April
even
is
her job.
sad.
It's
If you
not
can't
like
be
she was
happy in
hired-
show, if you can't be happy in show business or cruise directing, what else is there to do? So-
Yeah, but the thing is, too, is she was a singer. This wasn't like an official training program. Like she was just dabbling because she didn't. What else were you doing all day? You perform for 2.5 minutes a night.
you got a
That's
lot
it.
of
You don't
a
even
lot
earn
of
your keep.
champagne bought for you. I bet I know
She's
something.
still
you could-
working.
But
She's
I
still
mean, that's
working
what
on
I'm
that
saying.
campaign.
Like,
And to be fair, she's trying to hide from Mr. Patterson. So.
oh, that guy. Every day, Roger's here. Mr. P's back.
I bet she'd make a pretty good living with it, Mr. Pat.
Mr. P. Yeah.
Slow dancing in the lounge, and Stubing tries to cut in on Frank and Eve, and he gets shot down.
Loved it. This was my favorite thing in the whole episode. Frank Pierce is like, shut that. Get out of here. Like, I will punch you, Stubing. Basically, get away. I waited to see this woman for 37 years, and you're going to try to cut in.
Seriously.
The idea of cutting in, or the operation of cutting in, has come up quite often in the show. To the point we've talked about where there's probably etiquette involved, and I think this is the most egregious cut-in attempt based on the years of separation and little Francois in the end. We didn't know, but what's wrong with Stubing? Come on, there's 600 people on this ship.
Kev, what is your
I-
experience
like,
with cut
see,
in?
I just feel like I don't know the disdain for Stubing that you guys know. If my previous episode, he was like silly, and I think he was kind of a drunkard in my episode. Actually, now that we're talking about it,
Hope he didn't pick. Hope he wasn't driving to work that day.
And I don't get. I thought the army guy was a little rude to him at the beginning of the episode. To be honest with you,
Well, let's say,
like
what
Army Navy game, be damned.
let me
Like
ask you. So, what's your take on cutting in? I think we want to know because we have different theories on when it's okay, when it's not okay to cut in.
I think you are correct. Stubing should not have cut in
Yeah.
at that time, knowing what he did
Right.
at all. Yes, I agree with that.
It's a crappy move. Yeah.
And Kev, I will
Just quit talking
say,
shit about Stubing.
I will say, overall with Stubing, about halfway through the season, actually, when they brought his daughter in for one episode, he has been better this season. This is a weird episode because he's almost two different characters. The character he is with Frank in that storyline, I'm totally okay with.
Yeah.
The character he is with Charo, I don't like as much.
No, it's weird. It's weird.
Okay.
And we get to that part now. He's cranky about not getting to cut in, and so he checks his cereal box watch, and he groans to Julie that April's not here.
Mm.
And as Mike said, these people paid good money to see an upwards of 3 minutes of singing.
At least, and it don't matter how old you are.
Nope. April is out on the deck. So is Bud. Jerry
Weird
Stiller
scene.
gets
Weird scene.
Yep, he gets to shoot his stubby shot, kind of telling April that you should be down there. Do you know how people feel when you sing? He basically is saying that she does all the things that she's looking to do, and kind of gives her the confidence to go back in there and sing her songs.
What happens?
Sure. A little too late. You should have told her that about 2 minutes before that. It's all right.
The big problem, of course, is that advice is great, but that smooch of appreciation is bad because, like every kiss on this damn boat, you can see it from the deck. And Margaret saw it, and she is extra pissed now. Super mom, super pissed.
You can almost hear his character being like, "Oh shit."
Oh, man.
I know I can feel her breathing on my back. Shit.
Bud tries to chase her, and he runs right into a commercial. Act 4. We are back from break with a consternated Stubing. Decided that he can't possibly wait any longer. And he heads towards the stage. This fat bastard waited 45 minutes for cake like 2 months ago, but he can't wait 3 minutes for Charo to show up when no one is complaining. Nobody's complaining.
He's probably promised cake.
Guys,
after the singing.
after
the singing was over, they're going to bring out cake. So he's like, "Damn it!"
You know what I need? I need like a all-star reel of you guys talking about what a fat ass Stubing is, because you keep bringing it up, and it's like, and I wasn't like watching this being like, "Oh, look at this fat motherfucker walking around," and that's all you're talking about.
So really,
he just loves sweets.
It really comes
I think
from
Taylor loves sweets like this.
It really comes from, and Mike, I can't even remember what the specifics of the episode were, but Isaac shows up at his door at 3:00 with a donut on a plate.
Yep.
Damn.
So, that's where this came from. I don't think we were doing this bit before that.
It got a little ridiculous after that.
Yeah.
His love of treats became apparent.
Yeah.
Because it has been all Stubing loves. Stubing is Homer Simpson.
Yeah.
On this podcast.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
And like I said, we're actually
And we
feel
like
better
him.
about him than
Yeah,
last
yeah.
season.
We like him.
So you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. This is normal.
The perfect arc.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. I love Stubing.
All right.
To be fair, the best Stubing joke all season about pastries was Mike said at one point somebody was going to get vengeance on him by dressing up like a donut and attacking him. So
I'm telling you, he loves complex carbohydrates. It's all good.
as Stubing is waddling up to the stage, Isaac wonders what he's going to do, and Gopher says, "I hope he does feelings." I love that song. That's actually
funny.
the best line of the day. So
That was funny.
in classic Stubing fashion, his problem-solving plan is to impose on somebody else. Without asking her ahead of time, he gets on the microphone and basically strong arms Eve into coming up and singing.
What a big ask.
Yeah, seriously.
I know I haven't asked you, and you haven't.
I don't think it was that much of a strong arm.
No.
I think she was willing.
If you're on a cruise,
raring, I would say.
If you're on a cruise and you haven't scienced in like 20 years, and Stubing gets up there and he's like, "Hey, I hate to impose, but you want to science in front of all these people?" You would that's not a strong arm?
It makes you look like an a-hole.
I don't
if you
think
say no.
sciencing and performing are apples to apples. I think as the performer, I don't think it takes a lot.
Wow. A scathing takedown of the arts
community. I'll say this.
Yeah, I'll stick to that.
I'll say this.
You can post that.
Let's say this. I think this is a good comparison. If Kathy Lee Gifford was on a Carnival cruise, right? And the singer like lost her voice, and the captain's like, "Oh, snap, Kathy Lee Gifford's on the boat. Come on up, sing that Carnival Cruise Line thing." It's just a bit much. And the fact that she's front row, that was a bit much, Cap. Have a conversation.
This is because they wouldn't let him cut in.
Yeah. I don't totally think that
he's a child.
It was the proper thing to do.
No,
but
it's weird.
I don't think they need to twist a former USO singer who's wealthy enough to travel.
Well,
and likes the attention. I don't think they need to twist that arm too fast.
Well, I'll say this.
That's all I'm saying. Like
the assumption of riches, I totally get that with the French boy toy. He's got a seaplane. I get it.
He's got a seaplane.
You know what it is? I think for me, I would ask, "Hey, do you mind?" But in a pinch. But I get it. I have so many other things to rip into him for that I can let this go.
Did he just straight up grab her by the arm and
he
put
pretty
her
much
on
just like
stage without any
in front
talk?
of everybody? He was like, "Here you go, stand up." So
it would have been weird if she would have said no in front of all those people.
He should have been like,
"Who's gonna drive the boat?"
He's
it's not as not as weird as her song choice, which is a very like eerie song with a lot of spoken word at the beginning.
She's like,
if you like a good one.
If you like Lou Reed, you'll love this next talkie song.
They didn't bleep this one out on
this
on
was
YouTube.
I was waiting for it and like, nope. Okay. I guess we can use that for a theme song.
Can I do it?
Can you imagine if we just had the haunting lyrics of Sid Charisse every episode started?
It's copyright free.
Frank is getting horned up to this evil song, so maybe Merrill knew what he was doing all along.
He just threw him a fastball. I got you, partner.
April walks in, sees Eve singing, and she storms right on out with the crew following close behind.
Pissed.
So pissed. For somebody that doesn't want to sing, can't manage a cruise. So mad.
No, I can say this. Like, say I was late. I was late to record the podcast, and I showed up 2 minutes late, and Mike had a whole another dude named Mike, and they're already like wait, what?
No,
I'm just 2
no.
minutes late. Like, what happened?
Hey, not fair. Not fair. The girl singing was not named Coochie Coochie.
Number
That's
one,
true.
that girl was not
Okay,
singing anything.
so-
That woman was talking. I believe it was "Take a Walk on the Wild Side." She covered by the talk singer.
Did she mention the color girls?
That's Frank's part.
And the Frenchy boys say,
Francois, turn around the seaplane.
"You bastard!"
Hey, mommy's got to get home.
Yeah,
Oh,
it would have been great at the end if he picked them up in the seaplane in the parking lot.
it just says Francois parking here.
Holding up a sign. Mommy.
Oh,
Mommy,
mommy.
new daddy.
English, American Francois and French Francois. Oh boy. Okay.
Oh God! All right, the crew tracks April down because she went like 10 feet outside the door.
She's on a boat. Where's she gonna go? Come on.
I mean, what? Pepito hid for like 2 days.
You know where they should have put her? She should have went to that laundry basket again. That's where they should have.
You know, I actually did think that would have been funny.
Would
Actually,
have made sense.
like a cat when they
I'd
get
hear.
warm. So anyway, this turns into everybody explaining how jobs work. Basically, is that you have things you like about your job and things you don't like about your job. This kind of made her seem dumber than her character has been. I didn't love
this was dumb.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I don't love everything about my job, April. It turned into like a Sesame Street lesson. Like, all right, April, she's not special needs. Like, what are we treating her like this for? She speaks Spanish. Okay, like everyone chill out.
She was
And
smart.
English.
Yeah. She was smart enough to sneak onto your boat and get a career with your boat.
And she became the line's finest singer, and she's performing a total of 4 minutes and 18 seconds.
She
She
stole from your company and then said company hired her to make a living.
She's the opposite of James Brown. She doesn't work hard at all.
Yeah. Clever,
but not a hard worker.
Work hard, not smart. Or
That's
work
what
smart,
April
not hard.
always says.
Whatever it is.
That's right.
All right. Back in the Hannerhan cabin, Frank is trying to explain that what Margaret saw was not what she saw. It's not going well. And Mira is fighting the fight of the housewife. You know, kind of saying the whole thing, how, you know, I take care of these kids. That's all I have. I understand how you're not, you know, going to be attracted. She immediately thinks he's going to leave her, I guess, for Charo, which would have been quite a sitcom.
She said that's why she loves her children so much, so they'll love her when he leaves her. I'm like, damn, lady.
That's dark.
Well,
chill out, Margaret.
And dude, the doors, they're one of these like sliding weird doors.
Yeah, and
like,
I don't know what
everybody can hear every motherfucking thing that's being said.
But I've never seen this cabin before either. Normally there's like a curtain. So it's a weird.
Well, I mean, a curtain would be
same. It's not just, you know.
But you know what I'm talking about. It's like those like weird like
it's like a
mobile
little
home.
I guess
thing.
although
sliding doors like no.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah. Well, we've kind of learned that the adjoining rooms this season, whether you know the people or not, don't have that double door.
Nope.
Which obviously
and they
would
don't
help
lock.
with
Remember,
some of
what's
this,
his name? Walked right in. Like, there's no privacy on this ship.
Scarecrow.
Zero privacy.
He went,
Well, this is ridiculous.
There's nothing on this ship. Second honeymoon. Get out of here.
Well, there's obviously no cops.
No, there's no
or security
anything.
guards.
You know, that's
or
this
locking
place is...
doors. You're telling me
no
now?
cops, no locks, no motorboats, not a single luxury.
None.
Fuck this shit. The Pacific Princess.
Not a safe ship to go on a cruise. To be honest with you.
Hang into it.
So, long story short, Bud kind of is like, you know, the greatest thing I get out of my day is realizing what a great mother you are, seeing you out with those kids, and Bud's a good man. He's just trying to get a little loving, and she realizes that she's got no love left for him after taking care of those kids. But anyway, they come to a mutual agreement. Charlie tries to come in with his stupid puzzle, and they kick his ass out.
Yeah, no. How about you go in the other room? Stupid. Yeah, I thought that was a little.
Yeah, why don't you go to Wonderland?
And he whispers in her ear, "Let them watch. Let them watch. Let them hear." He just opens the door, and it gets weird. I thought he was such a weird horn dog in this episode.
Here we go. Big finish. Back on the deck, under the moonlight. Frank is pitching woo to Eve, thinking about what might have been, hoping it's not too late. Asks her to marry him.
That's not sad.
Fucking big ask. Big ask right there.
Well, it's a big ask considering he doesn't know what's up with Francois. So
huge ask.
Imagine he took it back, what she tells him, and he's like, "Hey, remember that time I asked you to marry me a few minutes ago?"
Hey, guess what? I don't want to take care of that motherfucker.
Wait, Frank, why are you shooting yourself in your other knee now? Like, what?
I was going to say, what if he just went down and said he got sniped on the deck?
He just drops.
The goddamn Nazis got me again.
Oh, God. Anyway, so Eve's like, before I answer your proposal question, let me just tell you one thing. Let me tell you a little story about Francois.
Let me give you a little something.
Yep. So she's like, let me tell you about Francois. And he's like, I don't need to know. And she's like, well, maybe you do. Turns out that France is a safe harbor for an unwed mother after the war. And that Frank in French is Francois.
Frank says, I told you I didn't need to know.
So I will say this. It's been a while since they got me.
They got me, dude.
They got me. I just wasn't even thinking about it. It just never occurred to me. I just assumed Francois was a boy toy and he got sent home. Yeah.
Well done, because I didn't see it.
No clue.
Yeah.
Nope.
Mind blown.
And I think I watched it the second time. I feel like I could see where they did an even better job, because it was like, wow, they really made it just vague.
Yeah.
And
the only
face, but like you couldn't see where.
The only crime in this was the introduction of Francois, or not introduction of Francois at dinner. That was the only cheat that they had.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But no, it's been a while, and I like
done.
getting got. Good job, everybody there.
Absolutely.
So
last two things for me. These brats come down with sombreros and llamas and all this shit. I hate those brats.
They brought more stuff off the boat than they brought onto the boat.
Those are the worst.
That's not going to fit in their station wagon. They're not going to be able to fit all that stuff back in the station wagon.
Oh, you know they have a Griswold style green, like wooded station wagon in the parking lot.
Have to, right?
Oh yeah. Well, no one else. You need a giant vehicle to fit, and that just it fits the story.
Frank and Eve tell Meryl that they'll be back after for their honeymoon. So things are working out great. And speaking of coming back, as we said, here's Francois to pick up Eve and Frank. Frank and Francois embrace. So do you think she told Francois before she sent him off?
He knows now? Or I'm telling him?
They hugged like they knew.
They did?
I don't think that was. I think it'd be more emotional than that. It was more like hey, come here.
No. Why would they have hugged if they did it? If Francois didn't know?
Yeah, but I don't think there's time. Because the thing is, I don't think she could communicate that on a ship to shore. You know how?
I think she told him when she sent him home. She said, "Hey, listen, here's the deal. Your father that I thought was dead, it's him. I need a couple days to, seduce him so we can get that sweet army pension. Go home."
She's like, do me a favor.
We can already afford these sweet, sweet cruises. So we need to get this army guy.
I'm surprised she didn't say, hey,
I'm tired of fucking you, Francois.
just say like, hey, Francois Beat, I know he's your dad and you haven't met him yet, and you probably want to kind of like maybe say a word to him or something you've always wanted to say. Put that up, just hit the pause button on that and get in the old boat plane. You skedaddle. Okay, I'll be there in a couple days. Mommy's got things to do.
The old French flyer, just to take
Awful.
Oh man, I wish I knew French. So I
yeah,
could say
bonsoir.
Yeah. Art of war.
And then we wrap it up. April killed it in that second act.
Yeah,
apparently. And then she tells Meryl that the next time she's on the boat, she might want to learn his job, which leads to, I don't know, like a minute of Charo improv where the crew has to like fake laugh the whole time. It is brutal. Julie, who had a great throw a book in the air, exasperated last week in a freeze frame,
this week.
Gets stuck with a
All right,
so
during that last like blast of Espanol, you definitely get a cucaracha, and I think the very end of the show is a whoopee.
Yeah.
So
yeah. She went beginning and end. She went full Charo. The middle is where she went April Lopez. So,
well, you know what? I'm glad Charo's still alive.
Yeah.
Good for her.
So that was the episode. Totals and a recap. King of the Mountain. We are at this point now working with multiple best and worst episode candidates, which will be decided in a few weeks at the Stubbies. I don't think this was the best episode, but I was happy to say it was not a bad episode, which means we had 2 good episodes in a row, which is nice.
Which is nice, and which is rare for the 20s.
Yes.
Ever since we
recorded
terrible 20s, we've had 2 good episodes in the 20s. So
this is 2 seasons.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And how many are there?
Seasons? There are 8 full seasons, and then 1 kind of like 4 episode season at the end.
Well, I hope there is the equivalent of Charo and I don't know, whatever that misogynist one you guys gave me last.
Oh, Kurt Stansel.
We'll see what happens for April Lopez in her next.
Yeah,
her next adventure.
I do think I'm gonna really try and find you a bad one though.
I mean,
but you never know.
I wish you wouldn't, but I get that.
We never
Beggars
know.
can't be choosers.
We never really know. Like the summaries don't really help that much, so because the worst episodes turn out to be the boring ones.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is a nice upper middle, Mike, I would say, I would
agree. I would agree.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Captain of the week, best of the week, Mike.
Frank Pierce. I mean, come on. Guy walks on the ship, fakes a limp, switches legs, leaves with a woman, gains a son. Good Lord. Hashtag legend.
Kev.
I'll go Frank Costanza.
Yeah.
Pissed off in silly situations, but finds its true meaning at the end. All good.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting like the pretty solid dramatic turn there by Stiller at parts. He had some chops. I wasn't expecting that. Just because I haven't really seen him in anything that wasn't like from the 90s or anything. I agree with both of you. I also thought the duos were good in that. I thought Eve and Ann Mira and Jerry Stiller are the best real life married couple we've ever seen on the show. Usually that is death.
Yeah, it doesn't really work out.
They were
How
really
many
good.
have there been?
More than you'd think.
Yeah,
I would say we probably up to 6 or 7.
4.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
They just never have chemistry. It's weird.
Yeah, no, that I believe that.
I will say, Mike, I'm just getting this on the record. I am counting Frank as an old for stubby purposes.
Fair
So,
enough. I kind of was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. All right. Walk the plank worst of the week.
I will say, when I looked this week, I was looking at it more from a character point of view and not from an actor point of view. So for me, the plank would be Margaret Hanrahan. Stop it. Second honeymoon. Leave the kids at home, lady. You gotta have some family, like, enough's enough. You could have stayed home and did what they did on the cruise. And he wouldn't have gotten smooched by Charo. You know?
That's true. He would not have gotten smooched by Charo if they had stayed
Wouldn't.
home.
I
That
just
is
think
safe.
she's a bit of a Margaret Hanrahan's a bit of a buzzkill. And maybe we can figure out a way for those two to spend time together. Come on, Margaret. She was kind of lame. Just use my.
I'm gonna follow in Taylor's vein where I say the kids. Jesus Christ! Like, why?
I can't argue with
And
that.
I don't blame the kids so much. Maybe I blame the mother more. But like, why are
Not
they
on a
there?
cruise.
What
It's in the
is
same.
this happening? Is
It's in the same pile.
Is the only way to get Star Wars into the episode? Like, I like get them out. Makes me nervous. Makes me anxious. Don't like it.
I don't hate kids or love, but I will go with the Steubing and Julie treatment of Charo. The gaslighting about the discovery, the weird cruise director internship that they decided was, horrible. Like, it was just unnecessarily combative for. And I really didn't like being told that Steubing discovered. Like, Julie was drinking the Kool-Aid this week. I did not love that. So
I agree.
That is totals and a recap for this week.
All right. Plugs. Whether you're cheering from the stands or tuning in from home, this is the podcast you need. So grab your bat, your cap, and your Phillies pride. Crack open a beer and enjoy a weekly Phillies happy hour with Chris Jones, Justin Clue, and our very own Mike Robertson. Check out Absolutely Hammered on the Hitting Season Patreon. Also, you can hear me on SiriusXM's Fish Radio on a show called Crowd Control. You can find us everywhere you find your audio podcasts: iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Podcast Addict, Amazon Music, Podchaser, Player FM, and my favorite, which I don't know if they should be my favorite now. I'm starting to think maybe I have too many. I got too many irons in the Deezer fire, but I'm going to say Deezer.
Well, we don't have too many downloads in the Deezer fire, so maybe
one in the Deezer fire. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah.
Please hit that subscribe button and leave a review. Check out our video podcast on YouTube. Please hit that subscribe button and leave a review. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook. Look for weekly reels and updates. And Mike, it's time for one of my favorite segments. I moved it a bit this week. We're going to check the old mailbag.
I was going to ask. I was worried that you forgot about the mailbag.
No, I would never forget about the mailbag. And no new mail this week. All right. But you can email us.
That was interesting, guys.
You can email us at theloveboatproject@gmail.com. Next episode, big one, episode 50. Who would have thunk?
Season finale.
Season finale, episode 50. Ethel Merman and the legendary Ken Berry, a.k.a. Vinton Harper from Mama's Family. Let's go.
Hey, do you guys have a guest?
No, you want to come back?
No, you want to come back? We could just keep rolling.
That would be a great show if I just did one off the cuff.
Yeah,
didn't know what's going on.
You know who else is on that episode? I believe it's our first Alice. We have Vera is on, or Velma, or whatever her name is. So
nice call.
I hope she throws
Alice and Vittner.
I hope she throws a bunch of straws.
Let's hope so. I hope so. But yeah, that's a big episode for us. Episode number 50.
Yeah,
Can't wait.
50 and then 50 and then the stubbies and then we're done for season 2.
And then
All right.
on to the next.
So I'll see you guys in 25 episodes.
Probably. I'll look up when the Charo one is. But like I said, I'm not sure if you're the Charo expert. We'll have to. You know what? People mail in your thoughts if Kevin should be the Charo expert or not. Because if he is, then we'll just have him on all the Charo episodes and we're done.
There you go. We'll let the people decide.
I am pro Charo.
Yeah, I think so. I think that
We'll
was
see
a
what
fair and
happens.
balanced Charo
I
look.
agree.
It was a scathing takedown of the arts, but
Yeah, which that's fine. That's fine.
Kev, any last thoughts before we let you go?
Thanks for having me on, guys. I love both of you, and we shall talk soon.